Good morning, everyone. This is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and we are here with day 64 of Coffee and MTG. You got your coffee ready? You got a cup of magic ready? Because we are going to talk some magic today. That's how we do it on this show. We have great magic discussion. First 30 minutes Q&A. We'll talk about any recent events, plus the next 30 minutes, we do deck list reviews. So if you got some awesome deck lists, don't worry, if you need clarity, if you need to be found the way, how to make your deck more balanced, does it need more mana? Does it need a better win condition? Does it need consistency? We will discover that on this show. We have a lot of great discussions every single morning. And don't forget that we are doing this live on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/Nikachu MTG. So if you want to be part of the show, if you want to be part of the action, come on down to be part of it. Because why not? Why not be a part of it? But don't use notifications. As everyone knows, the notifications are useless. Just show up at 11 o'clock. Because otherwise you'll miss the show. And we already got people here. M515. What's up, Kyoka620? M515 also sporting the new chubby meatball emotes. Got several of them. We got this sort of what face and then an even more extreme looking what face. So good morning, Nick. Good morning. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Basically content creation. I have like ideas for like making videos. Want to make more videos over the weekend. That's basically all I have in store. Probably depending, well, whatever. It's going to be mostly content creation. M515 also. I love this new chubby meatball emote. I hope it's used to good effect when we're actually playing. You know, it's supposed to be like the sort of surprised face of something, and it was really hard to get. It was like it was so hard, or how do I put it? I had to be very patient for chubby meatball to have the right bug eye looking face in the right light, and then when it happened, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta snap this with my phone, and boom, we've got a chubby meatball emote. Weekday kind of videos. No, more like discussion type of videos, deck tech sort of videos. Not because the weekday sort of videos are done more or less on the weekday, and I'll probably do a lot of editing as well. Good morning, Dexter Johnson. Good morning to the stream team. Good morning, Biggleman. Morning, Niels Nielsen. Good morning, Siege Sensei. Good morning, Lord Magicus. And even Stream Elements now knows that we are online. Oh, and as usual, I better change us to the Magic channel. We are Magic the Gathering. We're talking Magic the Gathering. Very specifically. We're not talking about any random stuff here. It's all about Magic. So if you got any questions, if you know the rules, you can just go at Nikachu MTG, or 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question. Helps me find your questions so that you can get some answers. So I got some disappointing news. I mean, you know, this is always the case, you know, in the state of Magic the Gathering. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And I lost big time on Pongify. I just bought a Pongify for 9 Canadian dollars, all right, not US dollars, 9 Canadian dollars. That's like 6 US dollars. Just bought a Pongify a few days ago. It's getting reprinted in double masters. And do you think the price will double? No, it will double. It'll go the other way around. It will get cut in half. Damn it. So I only bought one for Commander, so you know it's not the biggest loss, but for the most part, actually they reprinted a lot of good Commander cards, but I was sort of shocked to see the Pongify here. High demand. Not a lot of blue removal in Commander. Not a lot. You got Pongify, you got Pongify, you got rapid hybridization, you got what is that? The shift card. Exiles a creature, and they get to do something, and then they get a 2/2 creature. Whatever. It happens. It can happen to anybody. You never know what they're going to print. Maybe I was able to buy it because it was spoiled and I didn't even know about it, so it was just available. Oh, Ty Padme, thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for joining the wave. Become part of the action. Thank you very much for supporting the show. Thank you very much for supporting the show. Good morning. Oh, happy Friday to you as well, Betamax. Also a very cute avatar with the birds and the Yoda. Glad I didn't buy any yet. Well, yeah, some people did great. Yeah, you did great. I screwed up. Although it's, you know, you can't predict these things. It's like impossible to predict. I got rapid hybridization instead, the one that's more available. Oh yeah, reality shift. So like that's like the third piece of blue removal if you need removal for creatures or commanders. What, Imprisoned in the Moon? Is that a blue card? Do you know? I think that is a blue card. Yeah, actually, you know what? That's a rugged MTG. That's a really good point. We got Imprisoned in the Moon here. Now, it's slightly more expensive, but still, removal is removal. Enchant, creature, land, or planeswalker, so it actually hits more things than Pongify or Rapid Hybridization. And Enchanted Permanent is a colorless land with tap, add colorless to your mana pool, loses all other card types and abilities. So still gives your opponent some value, but like so did the other options, right? Like Rapid Hybridization and Pongify turned your opponent's creature into a 3/3 creature. This gives them mana. On the other hand, you know what? I totally forgot about this card, and I like that I get the devotion on this. That's going to help me with my commander, which is Thassa, God of the Sea, and also Master of Waves. So, Imprisoned in the Moon, we can't forget about those things. That is also another solid piece of removal. More expensive than the others, but hey, you can hit more stuff too. You can hit lands. So, screw your mazes. What is it called? Maze of Ith? Yeah, your Maze of Ith, Day 2 Dryden. Holding my attacks off of the Maze of Ith. No, I was not impressed. Not happy. Where's my Double Masters full art box topper monkeyfication? Oh, monkeyfication? Not sure what you're talking about. Mr. Blue, what do you think of the power level of Historic Merfolk? It's probably getting outclassed. Like, I hear like it's rough right now. I mean, I haven't played Historic Merfolk for quite a while, ever since I got into another class online. But it sounds like it's not good. It's in bad shape. Well, here's the thing. Merfolk has always had trouble against goblins, and the fact that goblins is like super tier 1 with a 1-card win condition in the form of Muxus is not doing well for Merfolk. And like, we don't have any good spot removal either, so that doesn't help either. Because at the very least, maybe we could hit the goblin that adds mana. Even then, that wouldn't be even good if you could destroy that goblin, because they could just play it at the last second and then sack their board for mana to get Muxus out. But yeah, that sounds like Merfolk is like in either like, I don't know, platinum diamond territory, but maybe can't get higher. I'm not sure though. I haven't been play testing, but I don't like the sound of goblins all over the metagame. Ty Padme, much love, brother. Love your interviews. Thank you very much, Ty Padme. Thank you very much. I'm going to keep the interview. I know you all love the interviews. Tell me your love for the interviews. We're going to have more interviews on the way. Definitely more interviews in the pipeline. Bought a playset of Walking Ballista a couple weeks ago. Wait, did that get reprinted? Did that get reprinted? Where are the artifacts? I didn't pay attention. I don't see it here. This was the newest ones. Is Walking Ballista reprinted? Well, it sounds like the answer is yes. Oh, the spoilers. Oh, the spoilers. All the spoilers everywhere. Maybe I covered this before and I totally forgot about it. Yeah, we got a lot of Tron stuff here too. Ratchet Bomb. Oh yeah, there it is. Walking Ballista. The grand constructs themselves. All right. That's too bad. That's bad news. That means more people are going to be playing with Walking Ballista. Now all of a sudden, other people are like, I can afford to play more Walking Ballista decks. Yay! It's just awful card. Awful card. Oh, Curse of the Swine. I love this card. I forgot about this card. Curse of the Swine. Maybe I should play this myself in my commander deck. Come on, let's go. Let's show Curse of the Swine. I got to get all the piggy tokens. It's loading right now. And while the Curse of the Swine loads, like to thank everyone for showing up today. You're here at Coffee and MTG. We're right now talking discussion. We're talking actually spoilers and also things that can remove blue removal spells seems to be the topic of today. But yeah, let's enjoy a delicious cup of coffee while we talk. Oh, you find people coming out today. Curse of the Swine. Blue X. Nice picture, by the way. Exile X target creatures. For each creature exiled this way, its controller puts a 2/2 green boar creature token onto the battlefield. So, like, but the hilarious thing is that you can hit multiple targets. So you can hit like a lot of stuff if you have enough mana. So Curse of the Swine, also interesting removal. It's funny, whenever blue removes something, it's like they get something out of it. They get a little something. You know, this is not the purest form of removal, but whatever. They get a little piggy. Little piggy. It's funny, one of these boars, I mean, this has been discussed before flavor-wise. These boars are like 2/2 creatures, which I guess can overpower a 1/1 human. Maybe it makes sense. Hey, boars can be vicious. Vicious boars. Just disastrously vicious boars. Ted Paime says, Laplacian said he's going to Greece next week, but looks forward to speaking with you soon. Oh, yeah. Laplacian is more than welcome to always be on the show. But I want him, like, during this time. I heard from him. It's awkward for him to talk to him. And now I want to devote these morning shows to my interviews and collaborations with other creators, which is difficult for some people. But, like, he's in Europe. He's in Poland, for crying out loud. So, or is it that the time zone is going to change in Greece? And that somehow helps them. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and find. We're gonna wait and see. Oh, what's the price now of Pongify? I don't know. All I know is we also have Frogify here. What is this? Enchanted Creep on. We have Frogify. So the whole spoiler thing just came out a little while ago. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a blue frog creature with base power and toughness 1/1. So there's more removal, sort of. Not the greatest removal. But that's how removal works. You know, I wonder if there's any merit to playing some of these cards in Modern, to be honest. Like, these aren't the dumbest cards. And, like, it might kill more things than Dismember can. Whatever, just the thought. It looks stupid at first, but maybe there's something to it. Where's our Pongify? All right, here's our Pongify. How much do you cost now? I don't know. Let's see what it costs at Fusion Gaming. My favorite local game store, FusionGamingOnline.com. Let's go to Fusion Gaming. Shout out to Fusion Gaming Online. I buy all my stuff here from Fusion Gaming. All right, so let's see. Just remember, this is Canadian prices. Well, they're sold out of everything. Oh, I guess I paid $8 for this. I paid $8 for one of these. I think I got the Commander one. $8 Canadian dollars. Okay, $8 Canadian dollars. That's how it is in Canada. Canadian money. Oh, what's the price? Oh, what was the question too? What's the price of like Curse of the Swine? Curse of the Swine is like nothing. I thought they was talking about Pongify, but like, yeah, Curse of the Swine should be like nothing. No one wants this card. I got a foil of it just because I thought it was a pretty picture. Yeah. Well, maybe it's considered. Maybe it's not gonna be a bulk rare after this video. Maybe now the price of Curse of the Swine will go up. The discussion of like what's a good removal spell came up, and like, oh my god, Curse of the Swine exiles as many as you want. Good god. Yeah, Theros was pretty well opened. Of all things. Rugged MTG says, can you see about interviewing Daniel Ryan? His Twitter handle is the MTG Tavern. Is that who is this Rugged Ryan? Personally, I'd prefer you have other people contact me. I don't really go out of my way I don't mind working with people, but at the same time, my plate is full enough that I don't really look at, I'm not really seeking out people that much. I just have them seek out me. And if they do that, then hey, it's all good. It's all good with me. But I don't know who this person is. Is this the taking turns person? Can't remember. So everyone, I'm just looking for questions like this. What do you think of narcolepsy? So we got 3 question marks before and after, or you can go at Nikachu MTG. Let's go look up narcolepsy. Oops. Here, I have it like this. Blue in a generic. Enchant creature at the beginning of each upkeep. If enchanted creature is untapped, tap it. I do not like this card. I don't like this card. There's a lot of ways of cheating your creatures to untap, or they might be creatures that you want. Like let's just talk about Devoted Druid, for example, as a creature. I mean, it's gonna untap, and then you have the ability. I mean, it can untap itself if it wants, or you have the ability to keep tapping it for mana. Like it's okay, but if it has any activated ability or any static effect attached to it, I mean, it just doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. So I don't know. I'm not super high on this card. Not super high. I think for the most part, if we try to kill a card, we need to just actually kill it, in my opinion. Rugged MTG. You can also use Rite of Undoing to bounce your ETB effects and an opponent's card as well to be able to cast your spell again and gain the ability to counter the opponent's spell. Rite of Undoing. So Rite of Undoing, interesting card. We've got return target non-land permanent you control and target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. There are a lot of cards like this. I am not a fan of them because for the most part, you're tempoing yourself out. And I know there is like this cool idea of like, reusing some of your own cards for ETB effects, but for the most part, you just tempo yourself out with cards like this. Yeah, you bounce something of theirs, but you're also bouncing something of yours. So you're removing something from the battlefield, and ideally, you keep adding things to the battlefield. This might only be good like in response to a removal spell on your creature. So or your permanent. So you get to save your permanent and then bounce something of theirs. But like overall, I'm not too high on cards like this. They're very situational or like, I don't know, anti-tempo. Nikachu, do you think the VIP boosters are worth it? I do not think cracking any boosters are worth it. I am an anti-booster cracking person. If people want to gamble, go for it. Enjoy. And whatever. I am a singles person. I buy the singles. What do you think I shop so much at Fusion Gaming so much? I need my Pongify. I don't want to open boosters to find Pongify. I just want to buy the damn thing for whatever the value of it is. And also, like, as far as I'm concerned, the people who crack the boosters, they're the ones who are helping me bring down the value of all the other cards. So in general, I don't think is buying the box are buying the boxes worth it? Yes. You're gonna get an appropriate amount of EV, but only if you buy enough of them. So if you crack enough boxes, enough cards, it technically is going to be worth it. It's just expensive. But I don't like buying boxes because I only want very particular contents of that entire box. The whole box, it's like 95% of the cards I don't care about. Like, I really don't care. And I have to flip them in order to I need to flip them in order to break even. So like if we look here, like all these cards that I would open, I'd have to sell them back. And selling some of them are difficult, or to get full value out of them on like the secondary market is a real pain in the ass. Like, you know, I don't know if anyone's ever tried to sell cards before, but, you know, listing them up and negotiating deals with people and arranging things or mailing it, that all takes time. You know, it takes a lot less time just buying the damn cards and getting them sent to me. That's a lot faster, a lot cheaper, less hassle. But that's from my perspective. I'm the singles person perspective. It is. In my opinion, I think all this stuff is worth it. It's just going to be super. It'll be more worth it if you can buy a lot of it, and you need deep pockets to do it. And there's just not many people who can do that. How about this? If you're questioning its worth, you probably shouldn't buy it. It's probably too much money for you. And for the people who don't blink, it's going to be worth it. That's my opinion on this matter. No, if you got to ask if it's worth it, it's probably not worth it for you. And then the people who aren't even going to consider that it's worth it, it's going to be worth it for them. They're not even going to think about it. It's all going to be valuable to them. With all the reprints, is it now worth buying into Eldrazi Tron or Tron? And what would you buy into? I mean, yeah, it's always good to buy into Eldrazi Tron, and I would get into Eldrazi Tron over Tron, because Eldrazi Tron clearly is beating Tron in the meta game, like in terms of meta percentage. One head on head, like apparently Tron beats Eldrazi Tron, but Eldrazi Tron is still winning at a way higher rate. And again, I cannot reiterate this enough. There is still a lot of room to improve the Eldrazi Tron deck. They can still improve their 75. So if they make a new land, a new artifact, the deck still has a lot of room to get stronger. It's not like, because the decks like Humans and Dredge, they already have so many good cards that, you know, another really good card doesn't really push them that much more over the top than they already were, because they now have to start replacing good cards with other good cards. But in my opinion, Eldrazi Tron still has a lot of room to grow in terms of power. So I think it's a good deck to buy into. Definitely a good deck to buy into. Cash Cat for Life just subscribed for 2 months in a row. Thank you very much, Cash Cat for Life. Thanks for continuing to join the wave, riding the wave. You've rode the wave for 2 months in a row. That's how I'm going to put it now. People who are riding the wave for X months. I've been riding this wave for 2 months. Thanks very much. Yeah, that's correct. Daniel Wong is the taking turns person. So I don't know this other person. No, we haven't had Daniel Wong yet. It's been suggested, but I haven't gotten in contact with him. I don't know. Yeah, well, you didn't. You mediated as much as getting the Discord name, but I still have to contact them. Rossbox also just subscribed. Thank you very much, Rossbox. Congratulations for joining the wave. Joining the wave here on Nikachu MTG. Hope you love all the discussions that we have here. Hope everyone loves being part. I hope this is a great part of everyone's daily routine, being on the Coffee and MTG show. Nikachu, your Twitch sub base is not big enough, but you should do Fun Deck of the Day. You have to explain what this is. I used to have Troll Tuesday, but like it got dismantled because at some point I just had so much like random funsy content over like any genuine like competitive content. Because a lot of people are here for the competitive content, and like my YouTube analytics also told me that, you know, people like watching the deck tech to the Troll Tuesdays, but not most people don't actually like watching the deck play out for the most part. Niels Nielsen says, I'm pretty sure you said that you hate both Walking Ballista and Ensnaring Bridge. Do you hate E-Tron then? Yeah. I hate playing against E-Tron for the most part. I mean, yeah, I hate Ensnaring Bridge, hate Walking Ballista, but like whatever. It is what it is. Got to deal with it, or just hope you dodge it. And right now, honestly, I'm in like the mood of trying to dodge Eldrazi Tron, which is not particularly smart, but that's what I'm trying to do right now. Because I'm not playing with, what's it called? Brazen Bar were to bounce Ensnaring Bridge. Any thoughts on Chain of Disappearing, the blue take on Chain Lightning? Isn't that is that blue, Chain of Disappearing? Is that a card? I know the Chain Lightning version. It's called Chain of Vapor. Yeah, it's not Chain of Disappearing. I think it's Chain of Vapor. Anyway, also not a really good card. A lot of blue decks out there. This is Chain of Vapor. Also not modern legal, by the way. Is it in the blue take on Chain Lightning? Oh, from Modern Horizons? Chain of Disappearing. What is this card? Oh, Chain of Disappearances. Aha. Oh, come on. Why are you giving me a French version? How did we get here? This is baloney. I can't read this card. View this card in English, please. String of Oh, it's called String of Disappearances. Yeah, Canadian detected. Show the French. I get French Apple ads on Twitter. I'm like, I can't read this. I've never plugged a single thing in French in my web browser or anything like that, but I get French ads. So instant, return target creature to its owner's hand, then that creature's controller may pay double blue. If the player does, they may copy the spell and may choose new copies for that target. Not in love with this card. It's like it's like Vapor Snag with downside, or with super downside, right? Return target creature to its owner's hand. Like, why would I want to give them the ability to bounce stuff back? Like, it's a negative free roll. You don't want to do that. It's not good. You just play Unsummon. Unsummon is superior to this card. Then it doesn't get bounced back. I mean, maybe this has some purpose in like Team Commander or something like that. Like, you bounce your teammate's creature to protect it, and now they get the option to bounce something of their opponents or something like that. So anyway, this is nope, not good. Just superior downgrade to other cards. Turn and Burn in Is It Merfolk? If I remember correctly. Oh god. How do I look this up? It's too many turn burn cards. Okay, great. Get a load of this, people. Enjoy. Can you read that? No, you can't. So everyone turn their head around, or turn your phone. Target creature loses all abilities and becomes a 0/1 red weird until end of turn. You can do that for 3 mana and burn. Deal 2 damage to target creature or player. It's not that bad, but it's just not modern worthy. I don't think it's modern worthy. Until end of turn, I'm not impressed with this card. 2 mana to do 2 damage. Rather it was a Braid or something like that. Thoughts on a Braid being in Pauper right now? I have no thoughts at all. I don't play Pauper. But congratulations to the red decks that now have a pretty damn good removal spell. And it's probably like worth being a common too anyway. So we have like some verification. If you try to sell cards on the secondary market, it's annoying. It's a PETA! Take a guess what it means. Pain in the ass. Okay, I have a question. Is buying bulk cards but not knowing them worth it? To the stores, yes. I can tell you that stores like to buy bulk because your average person selling this is what it comes down to. Like the person you're buying it from, do you think they're a complete pony or not? Because if they're a complete pony, then buying bulk can be good because there is all sorts of valuable cards that they don't know about. You know, they could look at what's a good example right now? Maybe Mishra's Bauble and think it's useless and worthless, and it turns out it's like a $15 card or something like that. There's a lot of situations where buying bulk is good. But if the store is selling bulk, just assume you're buying bulk. It's like they're basically selling the bulk because they've picked all the good stuff out of it, but it's still like a really good starter set for anyone just getting into Magic the Gathering and they need a really large density of cards. So like, you know, those like bulk, those like, I don't know, bulk boxes are a really good way to just get into the game because it's just full of cards and stuff like that. But if you're talking about like value in terms of money, I mean, they've taken all the money out of it. But if you know, if you can assume that the person you're buying the bulk from is like a random pony that probably doesn't know the value of any cards, you could easily get like good money. Because that's why, I mean, if you don't know this, stores buy bulk all the time, and they do it because, you know, there's nuggets of gold in that bulk that the people selling that bulk don't even realize. Yeah, there's the random chance. There's always the random chance that old cards randomly come sought after, like Bogart Harbinger. That's correct. You might even find that in like a dollar store repack. You know, you never know. You never know. Spooky. I'm lucky to see this. So Spooky Zaddy asks, how do I ask a question? Well, you can ask a question anytime, but if it would help me find your question if you go at Nikachu MTG or 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question, so it like pops out at me when I'm sifting through the chat, because there's a lot of questions, a lot of comments. Oh, and I think you asked the question already. So you figured it out. Oh, Cash Cat for Life says, have a good day, Nikachu. I'll try to make it more often. See you later. See you later. Manador, could you run Repeal in sideboard rather than Slam Brazen Borrower? Absolutely. Yeah, Repeal is actually a fine playable card in Modern Merfolk. I found it's perfectly fine. I liked it the most at its height when you could when it was really good as a 1-mana removal spell. So when there was a lot of Gilded Gooses in the metagame, bounce the food token for 1, tempos them out big time. Oko comes down, creates a food token, makes a food token, then spends another turn to make it into a creature, bounce the token for 1 mana. Urza hits the battlefield, makes a golem, bounce the it's not a golem, it's a construct, bounce the construct. So that's when I liked it the most, but Repeal most definitely can be a replacement. You just need something for Ensnaring Bridge. You know, I don't mind if it's Venser, Brazen Borrower, Cryptic Command, Repeal, just have something. Even though, like, I don't have anything right now, but just have something. Ugly Hood Rat, why do you hate MTG Arena? If not, why don't you play Historic for fun at least once a week? I don't hate MTG Arena at all. I'm trying to be consistent with what I'm doing. When I go back to MTG Arena, we might binge it for like 2 weeks, 2 weeks in a row. But right now, well, I don't know where I'm going right now with Twitch, but I would ideally like to try to make it to partner, and people seem to like the modern content more than they like every other content. And also, I think I'm doing quite... I have a bit of a competitive edge in the Twitch market by playing modern. There are a lot of modern players, but I think there's even more MTG Arena players. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's not that many historic MTG Arena players, but there's like a lot of arena content out there. So I'm trying to satisfy the market, so to say. And modern is super interesting right now. Anyway, yes, it is. I can't tell. Did I thank you, Rossbox? If not, thank you very much, Rossbox, for continuing to join the wave or joining the wave right now. What was this? A first? Rossbox, subscribe with Prime 10 minutes ago. Thank you very much for joining the wave, Rossbox. On this client, it doesn't do a very good job keeping track of everyone who has subscribed. You've got those Twitch Primes. I'm gonna be a dirty streamer right now here. You got those Twitch Primes, give me your Twitch Primes. If you're on YouTube right now, you probably have tons of Twitch Primes because that's like an untapped market. You're not a Twitch user. Make a Twitch account, give me your Twitch Prime. Now, I totally understand why the streamers always are begging for the Twitch Primes, because it's free. It's absolutely free for you. Emperor Filker. Is 5 mana Teferi well positioned in the modern meta at the moment? It's okay. Like it's fine. I wouldn't say it's like better than, I don't know if it's better or worse than usual. I have no really good opinion about this, except that 5 mana Teferi is just a super powerful creature. Oh, sorry, no, it's a very powerful planeswalker, like a very powerful win condition is what I want to say. It's a great win condition, very, very strong. Because if you untap with 5 mana Teferi, your opponent's basically lost. You have like, you're drawing 2 cards a turn, you get 2 extra mana, it like snowballs pretty quickly. I have a lot of trouble winning a game if my opponent gets to untap. Sometimes I can deal with it if they untap with Teferi and they brick on their draws. But if they untap twice, I am most certainly dead. I am most certainly crushed. I think it's reasonably positioned. It can still bounce a lot of things. I see nothing wrong with it. Here's the thing. I don't know how well it's positioned in a Stoneblade deck, especially the Bound Stoneblade. And if Bound Stoneblade is just the better control-ish deck, then or blue-white type of deck, then maybe Teferi is not where you want to be. But I think realistically, we just have to wait for control decks to find out how do they want to build their deck in order to compete in the metagame, because right now it's just mostly Stoneblade. They're just all in on Stoneblade. So I don't think it's poorly positioned, but maybe it doesn't have the best home, because I don't know. They can put it in Stoneblade, but I don't know if it's the best positioned in that deck. Because it's like their curve is just lower in general. Ace card 21. Why have you stuck to Merfolk all this time? Because it's fun. Not only it's fun, I've been able to make it competitive in the long run. I've had like a pretty bad streak over the last month. I don't know how much of that has to do with streaming. Although our first stream, we got a 5-0, and then when word on the street caught on that Nikachu is a streamer, that win rate went down. I'm telling you, I'm very paranoid of the stream snipers. That's why we got a new overlay to protect ourselves from the stream snipers. We got one confirmed stream sniper, and I had a few other games. Let me tell you, when I play off camera and on camera, it's different. It's different. That's all I can tell you. It's different in a lot of ways. But anyway, I stuck with Merfolk the entire time because I like the deck and I can keep it competitive in the long run, and I win with it. Why would I want to switch when I'm winning? I don't want to switch when I'm winning. I'm not going to screw around with a good thing. And the deck is unique and different all the time. It changes. Like, it changes with the metagame. It's the type of deck that no one is building their deck to beat Merfolk, but I have to build my deck to beat everyone else's deck. That's the beauty of Merfolk that I have found. That's what I really like about the deck. Always changing, always something new. Oh, we got another subscriber. Thank you very much. Mean Lizard. Well, I find that you are very generous, Mean Lizard. Thank you very much for joining the wave and subscribing to the channel. Being part of the action here on Coffee and MTG. And with that, I think I'd sort of take another delicious sip of my coffee. I swear, sometimes you become so still, I think my stream has crashed. Nikachu, you should split your screen and do speed chess while also multi-queuing modern. So much content. I've sometimes played a little bit of chess in the downtime while we wait for the next round, but in like the modern challenge, but it's very challenging. It's super difficult. All right, so we've reached the point where let's check out some deck lists. So if you got deck lists you want to share, you need some clarity, you want to know how to make your deck more competitive, start making it winning. Hey, submit your deck list and let's start looking at some deck list. We're going to do deck list review. Min Monsters, what's up? Well, where are you, Min Monsters? What's up, Min Monsters? I've been running into Fish Boys a bunch lately. I wonder why that is. Oh yes. You know, someone just said not too long ago, they made a great meme saying, you know, something like, congratulations to Nikachu MTG for keeping Merfolk alive based on hype alone. And it's like, well, there's a lot of hype, but there's, you know, there are a few results in the background of that as well. We appreciate the interaction and insights while you play, even though your play may take a hit or a clock. I know it's hard enough just as a YouTuber, and then doing it live takes like another dimension of skill because you're constantly reading the chat at the same time. All right, serving. What is it? Single serving friend. You got Esper artifacts. Is this a new list? I think I went over your list before, but okay, whatever. We can look at it again. So we've got, it's supposed to be Esper artifacts. We have Emery, Urza, Wormcoil Engine, Tezzeret. Oh, is this the Tezzeret tribal deck remastered? 3 dispatch, tap target creature. This card is actually underrated. This card was played in some affinity lists back in the day. Metallic Rebuke, Whir of Invention, Mishra's Bauble, Ether Spellbomb, Chromatic Sphere. Executioner's Capsule, destroy target non-black creature. I guess. Nihil Spellbomb, Pithing Needle, Witching Well, Pentad Prism, Sorcerer's Spyglass, Sword of the Meek, Talisman of Dominance, Talismans, Thopter Foundry, Time Sieve, Ensnaring Bridge, Darksteel Citadel. So I can't be sure. I personally can't be sure what is the right mana base for a deck like this. I have no idea. So I apologize if I can't give good feedback, and you have a reasonable sideboard. But let's get back to the main deck. Okay, so you have 4 Emery. That's appropriate. But I can't help but feel like you should have more Urza. Like, Urza's probably stronger than any of the other cards. Not to mention, like, that is your win condition once you've assembled the Thopter Foundry Sword of the Meek combo. Because that you make an infinite amount of mana and you make infinite tokens. So I would definitely just go all in on Urzas, and like basically, I don't know if you can take out 2 Thopter Foundry for 2 more Urza, or maybe 1 Thopter Foundry and take out 1 Wormcoil Engine for an Urza, or take out a Tezzeret for an Urza. Like, do you have any way of finding this Urza? This Urza, I think, is more important than anything else. Like, because Urza by itself is like a win condition. You know, there's Jund cries at night at just the sight or thought that Urza is still in the metagame, is still a printed card. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You can receive an artifact card. Target artifact becomes a 5/5 creature. Yeah, I think Tezzeret's fine. It's like a cool card. Maybe these 2 cards are competing for space with each other. Like, I don't have any other feedback aside from, like, probably there should be more Urzas in this deck. But I understand maybe it's competing for space with Tezzeret. So aside from that, I don't really have any other feedback because usually what they do, like, if you can assemble Thopter and Sword of the Meek and then you slam Urza, that's a win. You just that game's over basically, unless your opponent has some means of dealing infinite damage the very next turn. Because aside from that, you make infinite Thopter tokens, infinite everything with that combo, and that's why usually in these Thopter lists they're like maxing out on Urza. Not to mention Urza is just a damn good card in itself, but that's the only feedback I can give. Aside from that, if you want to go this route, you can go this route. There's nothing wrong with that. And yeah, whatever. I've seen Time Sieve. It's definitely seen play. It's all good. So anyway, thanks for sharing the list. Thanks for sharing the list. You're here on Coffee and MTG with Nikachu. Whoa, losing coasters here. Where we do Q&A and deck list review. We're in the deck list review part. We always see exciting stuff also in deck list review. Always very new, weird things. Bant Wargate Tron. Okay, what the hell is this? Oops, page not found. Oh, that can't be true. Hold on. Okay, page found. This is Bant Tron Toolbox. Bant. Not mono green. Not even green white. Bant. 3 colors. Hold on, do you have Tron stuff in here? What's your mana base? You do have Tron. All right, this is ambitious as hell, but and you're playing with Future Sight? Triple blue. This is impossible. All right, so Uro, Primeval Titan. So this, you know what this reminds me of? Like Cloud Post and Legacy. Elish Norn. How the hell do you get the? Oh, I guess. Okay, so you have enough mana to get Elish Norn out. Woodfall Primus. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target non-creature permanent. And Iona, Shield of Emeria. 3 Karn the Great Creator. 2 Karn Liberated. 4 Ancient Stirrings. 3 Glittering Wish. Choose a multicolor, card you own from outside the game. Reveal it. Wargate. Search your library for a permanent card with converted mana cost X or less. Put it into play, then shuffle your library. This, if you have the mana for this, I don't believe in this card. Supreme Verdict, is that even necessary? Expedition Map, Azoria Signet. I was wondering, how on earth do you get this mana? Selesnya Signet, Simic Signet. So I think, I'm not sure, but I think you need more signets to make any of this reasonable. Is this enough? Is this enough signets? Breeding Pool, Flooded Strand. Maybe it's enough. So I can't speak for the mana base, because you have a very ambitious mana base. But between the Tron Lens and Expedition Map, you probably... I mean, that's basically Eldrazi Tron stuff, right? And this is still mana ramp, so this is fine. So 2 mana, it's like a Mind Stone almost, but it just makes colored mana, because you only require an investment of 1 and tap it and you produce 2. Maybe you need more of these. I don't know. Okay, so here's the problem. I have like a problem with this Wargate card. Search your library for a permanent. Like, it seems weak. Like, it just seems weak. This is a weak card. I think you can do better than this. You might as well just have more like Primeval Titans, really, to just get more stuff. I mean, I guess the idea is you want to tutor for these cards. Like, there are so many more interesting cards. What's it called? What is the green card that, like, you look at the top X cards of your library and then what's the green you look at the X top cards of your library and put X cards onto the battlefield with converted mana cost X or whatever. But maybe that doesn't work here. Oh, Bother Sean with the subscription. Thank you very much, Bother Sean. Where's Bother Sean's subscription? 2 months riding the wave. Uh-oh, where are you? There we go. 2 months. My also my stream coach, Bother Sean. You want to learn how to, translate yourself from YouTube to Twitch. He knows a lot of stuff about Twitch and Discord. It helps me a lot. Go find him at Bother Sean on Twitter. See, you're supporting the channel and getting advertisements. Well, anyway, okay, back to this list. Well, I don't really have any advice for us because I don't know how well this like mana interacts with this deck. And like, you need so much mana to tutor Iona out, like it's impossible. Search your library for a permanent card with converted mana cost X or less. So like you need 12 mana for this. You like literally need 12 mana for this. Okay, is it Genesis Wave? The problem with Genesis Wave that I thought now was maybe you don't have enough creatures. Oops, Genesis Wave. Because if you have a pile of mana, reveal the top X cards of your library, then you can put any number of permanent cards with converted mana cost X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Then put all cards revealed this way that weren't put in onto the battlefield into your graveyard. Ace card says, the idea is to never hard cast them. That's why I effectively run 7 War Gates. Do you? Oh, you mean the Glittering Wish is a War Gate as well? Well, I can't really give any advice on this because I have no idea what your odds are of getting these creatures into play. Because you have like, you're playing Tron, but you're playing Tron with like extra expensive targets. If anything, I think you should have more Supreme Verdicts in the deck, or maybe 2 in the main is fine. But you need to be a better control deck, waiting for your moment to get these things out, because this is really slow. So you need more control. You need more control aspects to this deck. So either more Supreme Verdicts or more. I mean, you do have Uro, which is fine. You gain some life, put some more lands on the battlefield. Oh, go for it, Badashan. You can do whatever you want. Go for it, Badashan. Well, how does the deck win? It puts some giant creature in play, and then we'll win from there. That's basically how it is. So I really can't offer a whole lot of advice, because this is like a 3-color Tron deck. So, I mean, okay, I have a question. What are you looking for help for? Is this just a complete brew that you just made? Have you play tested with this deck at all? Balushan loves it. So greedy. Some people love the greed. Because if you've play tested a little bit, you can give me some insight into where you think that there are problems, then maybe I can help. But aside from that, just looking at this, I mean, it's just a very greedy deck. Curve is very high because, of course, you need like 12 mana to get like Wargate off and reasonably get your creatures. You need a lot of mana. A lot of mana. Everything's at like 7, 8 or whatever. You need to run a mini best of 1 tourney? Yeah, you got to goldfish this deck. I've playtested with proxies. It's a bit slow, but it dunks on the slow meta that we are currently in, even more so than regular Tron. All right, well, that's fine. If the meta's too fast, more Supreme Verdicts. You know, verdict those stupid, like, what's it called? Mono red prowess players. Go get them. More control elements you probably need. Like maybe less Karn Liberated, because this is very difficult. Karn Liberated is, okay, I will say this. Karn Liberated is super clunky in a deck like this, because you are very often playing something like Breeding Pool and Flooded Strand, and now you are like 3 more lands away from getting Tron. And that's fine for the other cards, but it's not good for Karn Liberated. It's pretty stupid. So Karn Liberated is a potential cut in this deck to play more early interactive spells against any deck that might potentially like threaten you. So anyway, thanks for submitting the list. Super ultra greedy. It's definitely one of the more greedier decks that we've ever seen here. And I hope that was valuable. Hope that was valuable. All right, let's go to the next list. Where was I? Shadow Walker says, need help with this red-white historic list. Mostly budget because I'm short on rare wildcards. Gotcha. And thanks for letting me know that you're on the wildcard budget. Okay, we have Castle Ardenvale, Castle Embreth, Clifftop Retreat, 5 mountains, 5 plains for Sacred Foundry. Fortunately, your mana base is like pretty good. All right. Aurelia. You have 20 lands. This is a 4-drop, and you have 4 of them in this deck. Do you have any ways of making mana? Justice Strike. Okay, let's go through the whole deck. Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice. Flying, it has Mentor. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to 1 target creature you control. Until end of turn, that creature gets +2/+0, gains trample, blah, 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 blah. Pretty good creature. Legion Warboss, strong card. Sky Knight, Vanguard. Whenever it attacks, create a 1/1 white creature soldier and token that's tapped and attacking. But this is a pretty crappy looking card, just a 1/2. Unless it has some hidden synergy I don't know about. 3 mana haste. Another target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Seems like a weak card overall. So Wahan, I'm just curious, how many what wild cards do you have? You're just broke on rare wild cards, but you have got mythic, common, and uncommon? Justice Strike, target creature deals damage to itself equal to its target creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. Lightning Strike, raise the alarm. 2 shock. Glorious Anthem, creatures you control get +1/+1. Excellence Binding. Legion's Landing, Seal Away, Light Up the Stage. Ember Cleave. Light Up the Stage. So I don't Light Up the Stage might be worth 1 mana, but I think your curve is too high. So first things off, your curve is very high. You have a 4-drop here, you've got a 3-drop, you got 3-drop. Glorious Anthem, Ixalan's Binding. This curve is way too high for this deck. You need more lands. You need to go like 22, 23 lands here. You're going to be stuck. I'm pretty sure that if you've played your deck, you're stuck at 2 mana like really often, and you just can't even get any of your high impact cards onto the battlefield. And I very much doubt Light Up the Stage is compensating you. Compensating you at all. Like, it's a good card and all. It's a good card and all that. So I would definitely make room for 2 more cards. Maybe play more shocks. Like, play more removal. That's for sure. We need some creatures. Like, is this it? Okay, here's some problems I have. Glorious. I don't think you have a deck for Glorious Anthem. I know you make creatures from Legion's War Boss, but at the same time, you only have 11 creatures in this deck. There's like barely any creatures. You need more creatures if you want to play something like Glorious Anthem. It doesn't have synergy in the deck. So either play very few creatures and scrap the Glorious Anthem, or play with a lot of creatures. And is there a Giant Adventure card, M515 in red? Oh, Bone Crusher Giant, but he's low on rare wild cards. That's the problem. Bone Crusher Giant is a rare. Like, I agree, Bone Crusher Giant is great, but it's rare. He's broke on the person's broke on the wild cards. Or broke on rare wild cards specifically. Okay, so I can't like revolutionize this deck, but if you want to play, so first things first, if I don't make many changes, you have to add more lands. So I would definitely take out the Glorious Anthem, add more lands. That's the first step. This and this is fine. This is a weak card. Just replace this with something else. Does anyone have any like really good... Oh, Adanto Vanguard. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Or does this all have evasion? But not everything is flying anyway. Adanto Vanguard might be the card for you. So it's a creature that when it's attacking is bigger, and you can pay 4 life to make it indestructible. Yes, the Knight is 2 extra 2-drops. But it's only when it's attacking that you can get value. And like another thing, like Light Up the Stage only works if you've got like early creatures and you've got like a lot of chunky creatures. So like you don't even get the benefits of Light Up the Stage until much later. And you also can't even use Embercleave. So actually, one thing that you should really do, the thing to invest in here, is more creatures, like way more creatures. Like, okay, you have too much interaction here. How about this? Get rid of Ixalan's Binding, too expensive. Oh, you have Legion's Landing. That's not too bad. Okay, so that's some early. That's an early 1-drop. That's fine. So you got to scrap Ixalan's Binding, and you do actually have a little bit of something to get Light Up the Stage online. Oh, you also have Raise the Alarm. What else can we do here? So effectively you have like 11, 15, 19 creatures. Is that enough? It's definitely it's either too much top end or too many instants. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a top end. So that here's the deal with this type of deck. You're sort of in between 2 different strategies. You can either go more creature dense with a little bit of interaction, or you can go hyper interaction, but you can't be so creature dense, and you'd have to dump the synergy and just play with single powerful creatures on their own right. Things like Legion War Boss is fine. This is like a 1-card win condition in itself, but you don't have any other cards like this in your deck. Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice, really isn't a win condition by herself. So it's got to be more stuff like Legion War Boss and something else, but you don't have enough of those things. So I would definitely move some of this interaction, especially Ixalan's binding, which just seems a little too clunky. Seal Away is fine. I think this card is good, it has flash, so I like it. Maybe Shock is too little, and just up the creatures, and also up the lands. And then that might justify something like Glorious Anthem. Hopefully you don't need a card like this, but you know what? If you have enough creatures in your deck, you can justify a card like this. You can do it. And then you would justify Embercleave. Costs 1 less for each attacking creature you control. Like, it's hard to actually justify Embercleave in this deck because you don't have any big creatures. Embercleave is very good when it's attached to a big creature to, you get the double strike. Like, attaching this to a 1/1 token or even a 2/2 token, it's not worth a whole lot. And you only have one in this deck. And also, in my opinion, one-ofs are none-ofs. So, like, if this card, which is like one of the best cards in Historic, if this card can't make your list in like 2-ofs or 3-ofs, then maybe you should just consider scrapping it. Oh yeah, I forgot. The Aurelia also makes herself big. Okay, that's fine. So this is a 4. So maybe you could just, well, you can decide how you want to take this deck, but definitely up the land count so you can cast Aurelia on curve. Because she can give herself up to until end of turn. Hold on. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to one target creature you control. You can choose herself. Forgot about that. So this is a decent win condition, or along with Legion Warboss. But like I said, you can go that creature. You can go the creature route. You can go more creature heavy. There's nothing wrong with that. You can go for it. But you have to take out some of the interaction. There's just like some disgusting amount of interaction. Now I would say improve these creatures. This creature sucks. I would also say this creature sort of sucks too. This isn't worth it. Try to play with something else. Raise the Alarm is fine. Good, mana efficient. Legion's Landing is fine. Also can turn into mana. And Embercleave. I guess if you attach it to Aurelia, it's fine. It's good. And maybe the Legion Warboss. But maybe you should have more of these instead of other cards. I wish I could be more specific, but like basically you do have to make more, you have to make room for more mana and like cut some of these other cards out. Maybe, I don't know if it's Justice Strike or the Shocks or the Lightning Strike. You gotta make or the Glorious Anthem. Maybe take a good good look at Glorious Anthem. Is it doing what you want it to do? I would definitely scrap I think I would rather scrap Ixalan's Binding. It's just way too expensive for this deck. I think by the time you have 4 mana, you want to be slamming your Aurelias or a Legion Warboss plus Shock or something like that. I think that's my opinion. I hope that helps. I know it's a little bit vague, a little bit unclear, because I didn't really tell you what to replace, but I'm just saying that you seem to be in between two different worlds and you got to pick one. If you want to play your Aurelia, all right, you got to go up on mana, and I would also like to see that you're a little bit more creature heavy and less on interaction. Because creatures have synergy with more creatures, but if you only have you put out some tokens with Raise the Alarm and you don't have anything really good to back it up with, then that becomes a problem. But anyway, thank you very much for sharing the list. I appreciate it. Okay, so Greg 3393 says he has some hot jank. That's okay. We've seen a lot of jank on the show. It's not the first time. It's not the last time. Arc Light Cocoa Wheels. What format is this? Probably modern. Ancestral Vision, Burning Inquiry, Cathartic Reunion, Clear the Mind, Collected Conjuring. This is the collected company for spells. Exile the top 6 cards of your library. You may cast up to 2 sorcery cards with convert mana cost 3 or less from among them without paying their mana cost. Put the exiled cards not cast this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. This is cool. Wow, this is actually pretty inventive. So you can go Collective Conjuring and draw 3 cards potentially, plus something else, plus a burning. Well, this is a super lottery deck, that's for sure. So what if you get both of these? You draw 3 cards and you Burning Inquiry some random number of them away. Collective Defiance. Well, I don't even know what this card does. Choose 1 or more. Escalate for 1 colorless. Target player discards all cards in his or her hand, then draws that many cards. Deals 4 damage to target creature. Deals 3 damage to target opponent. Interesting. Goblin Lore. Yeah, draw 4 cards, discard 3 at random. Wheel of Fate, basically Wheel of Fortune. All right, but how do we win the game here? Dredge would love to play against you, as foretold. Also, you know, you probably want one more of these in this type of deck because you have so many like 0 mana spells that you would want to play. I don't know how to fit it in here, but Narset might be like a really good card to have as a 1 of or 2 of. Imagine having Narset, then you play Wheel of Fate. Whew, that's powerful stuff. Because only you get to draw the 7 cards. The other opponent won't draw. They'll draw 1 card. They'll draw 1 card if you have it out. So as foretold, Arclight Phoenix, Riel the Everwise gets +1/+0 for each instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards for the first time each turn, draw that many cards. Narset. Oh, you do have Narset. Excellent. Beautiful. Didn't see it all. Narset is here. It's pretty. This is a sexy card in this deck. All right. So the most important question is: do you have reveal top 6 cards? You can cast up to 2 sorcery cards with convert mana cost 3 or less. Do you have enough? You need. I would say you need about 24 to make this like even playable. So you have 4, 8, 12, 13. It's got to be 3 or less. 13, 16, 18, 22. Ugh. Damn, we're pretty short. You know what? I bet you're still hitting 1 pretty often. You just have to get lucky to hit 2. That's the only problem. You don't have enough. Oh, why did I even count this? This thing counts it for me. So that's just 25 sorceries, but minus 3 collected conjuring. You have 22. Huh. 22 lands. This is okay. Arclight Phoenix. Yeah, you need a way to win, right? Whenever you discard 1 or more cards for the first time each turn, draw that many cards. This card might be too fancy. That's my problem with this card. It might be too fancy. But at the same time, you need some alternate win condition from the Arclight Phoenix just in case someone plays like Rest in Peace or something. Dreadhorde Arcanist doesn't work because you can only cast cards equal to the power of Dreadhorde Arcanist. That's a hard part to remember. It doesn't cast anything from the graveyard. It has to be equal to its power, which is 1. And a lot of this stuff. Oh yeah. Do you know what? Some of this is cheap, right? Some of this is free. 0, 0. Any other zeros? There might not be enough synergy, but this is 1. So there probably isn't enough cards you can actually flash back here. So as foretold, yeah, equal or less. So I just want to I don't know what to do here. So what do we got for the sideboard? Clear the Mind. Target player shuffles their graveyard into their library, draw a card. I have no idea what this is for. Force a negation. More Riels. Thassa's Oracle. Should this be maybe the way you win the game? I don't know. And the Royal Scions is in the sideboard. I'm not sure what the plan is with this sideboard, but I assume you sort of know what you're doing. The deck is cool. I think the deck is cool. I would sort of want to see if there's a way to go more all in on this collected conjuring. Do you have? I don't know if you need this, but there's a land. What's a Boseiju? Oh, what's it called? What's the land that makes like instants and sorceries uncounterable? Help me, Twitch chat. Oh yeah, shelters all. Oh, I missed the I in Boseiju. Whatever. So enters the battlefield tapped. You can pay 2 life, tap it, add 1 mana, add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. If the mana is spent on an instant or sorcery spell, that spell can't be countered by spells or abilities. You might want this sort of card. in your deck. Like I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You might know your deck better than me, because it will make you're very heavy on these instants, and you have quite a few that require colorless mana, and it would become uncounterable. So you don't get screwed by counter spells. Maybe something to have in the sideboard against like heavy counterspell decks, because I mean you'll just get screwed by counter spells. They'll just counterspell the most important card. I don't trust this card. Like, it can die to anything. I wish you had something else like Arc-like Phoenix that was like more resistant. Like, I just don't trust this card, to be honest. It looks. I like the deck overall, but I don't think I can trust this card. But I don't know what I can give you as a replacement. Maybe, honestly, maybe just Thing in the Ice. Maybe Thing in the Ice, because this is a reasonable Thing in the Ice deck, because you're playing, you can get a bunch of these instants and sorceries off, and then you'll just bounce your opponent's board. Thing in the Ice, like Arclight Phoenix and Thing in the Ice have been good friends for a very long time. And Thing in the Ice also can die to a lot of things, but won't die to Lightning Bolt, and is a really good blocker on the earlier turns of the game, and is a win condition by itself. Bedlam Reveller, maybe? Bedlam Reveller, I think, is definitely a good choice in this type of list. Bedlam Reveller actually looks very reasonable. Like, this card, you need it in play. It doesn't get any value, and then you have to like hope it lives for the next turn. And like, whatever. I don't think the ability is anything particularly special. I don't think it's anything special. I think having more powerful things like Art like Phoenix. I don't think that. Hollow One is a bit janky, because you can just discard it or whatever. Crackling Drake actually is an improved version. Yeah, I might run Crackling Drake, but like, it's clunky. But it's fine. It's fine, actually. I could buy Crackling Drake as well over this, because it's the same thing, but you get guaranteed value when Crackling Drake enters the battlefield. So let's get Crackling Drake. Like, that's why they ran the thing. And even if your graveyard gets exiled, you still get the ability. So Crackling Drake's power is equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard. And when it enters the battlefield, draw a card, and is immune to Lightning Bolt. 4 mana, but still you were paying 3 mana for the other one, so it I don't think it's that much more expensive in this type of list. So anyway, that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say about this list. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. This is a really cool list. This is very, very unique, but I just want you to change this win condition. And I can't really speak for the sideboard at all. I'm glad you have Narset. You're going to have those one-sided Wheel of Fates. It's going to be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so we have like, let's see how well we can do with the deck list review. So I most definitely can't get to everybody's deck list. A lot of people like to submit deck lists. Kumena, Merfolk, and EDH. I'm not gonna. Kumena is fine in EDH, but I don't know if I can offer any opinions. My apologies. I cannot offer any opinions in a, what's it called, in an EDH deck. So yeah, Benthic Biomancer is fine. Oh, that's interesting. So Enclave Cryptologist. Oh no, but I think it's a different counter. This is a +1/+1 counter. It doesn't count for the level up counter for Enclave the Cryptologist. Yeah, sorry, I can't give any feedback on this deck because, well, I'm not like a pro EDH player, so I can't tell for sure what's missing, what's not, what you need. I'm sure the deck is great. Although I have to say, I never found Sage of Fables to be very impressive. Maybe it's better in this deck because you're I don't know, you have creatures with +1/+1 counters, but I never liked this card. So that Adele is great. Wake Thrasher is good. Ooh, Follow Sage. Whenever it becomes tapped, you can draw a card. That's pretty cool. 4 mana slot is very crowded, but whatever. Forerunner of the Heralds, Herald of Secret Streams. Hey, from what I see is good. It's all good. Ooh, Seaborn Muse. Untap all permanents you control during each other player's untap step. Yeah, Seaborn Muse and like Kumena, and that's basically GG, right? And there's a lot of people who use Tatiova as a commander. This card is super busted. This is a busted card. Tatiova is really, really good. And like I would love to play this in Modern, but the problem, of course, is it's 5 mana, and that's just a little too much. That's just a little too much. For that effect, whenever a land enters a battlefield, you draw a card and you gain life. Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? So anyway, it's appropriately costed to get like out of the metagame. If it was 4 mana, I think I would play this. I think if at 4 mana I play this, and at turn 5 I would slam Tatiova, play my fetch land, draw 2 cards. Anyway, that's my talk about Tatiova. Anyway, I don't have any good feedback for this type of deck because it's EDH and I'm not pro EDH player. You want good EDH format feedback? Go check out the Spike Feeders, fellow Winnipeg Canadians. They know all the stuff about EDH, competitive EDH though. Manadork says, not red-white this time, another baby of mine that I'm toying with. Mono blue orrery. What on earth is going on here? Walking Ballista, Filigree Sages, untapped target artifact. All right. Is there an infinite mana combo in here? Karn the Great Creator, Condescend, Repeal, Cyclonic Rift, Remand, Dismember, Thirst for Knowledge. Sort of looks like, yeah, it is an Urza deck. Expedition Map, Maze Mine Tome. This card is great. Sometimes I wonder if I should jam this in Merfolk. Chromatic Orrery. Oh, so there is an infinite mana combo. You can spend mana as though it were mana of any color, add 5 mana, draw a card for each color among permanents you control. But you just want the mana. So how does that work with this? Because you have to keep paying at least a blue to untap the Orrery. Or how do I pronounce this? Orrery? Academy Ruins, Gemstone Caverns, Island, Manamo, Teleria West. Sideboard, Ballista, Dispel. All the regular good stuff. So what is the deal? Okay, so Manadork, what's going on with this list? You have to explain it to me. Does anyone know? Ori lets you spend colorless mana as blue mana, so you're good. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. Oh, I see. Okay, so you do have infinite mana. Well, what do you do with it? Just one Walking Ballista? So the idea is Filigree Sages combines with the Orrery. You have infinite mana. You can draw, I'm guessing, infinite cards. So you make infinite mana, you draw infinite cards, and you win with Walking Ballista. Maybe you should be playing with one Cavern of Soul. Well, okay, you draw infinite cards, so you should have like infinite mana, infinite. Okay, I was about to say you play Cavern of Souls and Thassa's Oracle, but like who cares? You have like infinite counter spells basically and infinite mana. You're going to draw your deck, right? Didn't do so hot. Also is terrible to play on Magic. Well, I'm sure it's terrible to play on Magic the Gathering Online. 4 Remand might be enough to protect your combo, I think. I think the deck looks fine, though. I mean, it's basically Blue Tron with like an alternate win condition. I can't even remember if Blue Tron even plays Karn the Great Creator, but why not? Why not play it? I think this deck is cool. I don't really have anything to say about it. You know, you got your 25 lands, you got your Maze Mine Tomes and your Expedition Maps, and you have like a good interaction on the earlier portions of the game. I think this is cool. I think it's a great deck. I also think the sideboard is good because you have like really good targets for your Karn the Great Creator, including the Filigree Sages and the Orrery. So you have a lot of you have tons of consistency in this deck. This is a really cool deck. Thanks for sharing. This is really cool. Okay. Anyway, that's if Saffronov played something like this, well, maybe he didn't do so hot, but like, make no mistake, Mono Blue Tron is difficult to play. because there's only like a few masters that actually run it, and that's why everyone else plays like Mono Green Tron or Eldrazi Tron, whatever. Mono Blue Tron requires a lot of skill, and I don't know exactly what the nuances are of this deck to make it competitive, but I certainly know that the deck is not a cakewalk, and that only a small handful of people have mastered the deck to make it competitive. So I imagine, like, even with these adjustments, it's still a very skill dependent deck to run. But I think the idea is cool, and you can get through, and you like untap target artifacts, so you have some abilities of like, you know, reusing your Maze Mind tomes and stuff like that. So it's not completely useless. And occasionally, I guess you can attack with it and untap it, but whatever. All right, so maybe I'll answer some stuff at the end. Ugly Hood Rat says, you need to start making people fight each other in 1 versus 1 in best of 1 to prove their points. You commentate. What do you mean? Like with their lists? The everyone's brews? Force of negation in this list? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. There might not be room for it, and there's like a lot of artifacts in the deck. Like there's only like, this list only has like 16 blue spells, basically. I mean, there is the Filigree Sages, but there's not a lot of blue spells in the deck. You could have it, but probably not. It's probably not necessary. Like you're playing mostly at sorcery speed, so you want, you know, force negation is just not going to do anything for you. Maybe you can fit it. Maybe you can fit it. Maybe it's possible, but like I wouldn't say it's mandatory. I don't even think like force negation is mandatory for Merfolk right now. I've got it in the sideboard. But that's going to be it for today. But don't worry, we're going to get into gameplay. For everyone watching live, we're going to have some gameplay in a second. So don't change the channel. Don't do it. Oh, I forgot to talk. And before we go, I'm going to thank our sponsors, themanabase.com, your home base for everything Magic the Gathering, and Mana Traders, the premier rental service for Magic the Gathering online. You can support the channel by using my link in the description below to subscribe to them, or you can get 20% off for your first 3 months with coupon code Nikachu. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for showing up for another beautiful Coffee and MTG. We had some great discussions and saw some great deck lists. So until then, I will see you at the next cup. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next time.